we've got some breaking news here at Bengals Breakdown here on a Tuesday. The Bengals are adding from the outside to their defensive line and signing free agent defensive tackle Lawrence Guy. The Bengals obviously are very beat up at that position, a position that already was thin for Cincinnati going into the game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then both starters, Sheldon Rankins and B.J. Hill, get banged up in the game with hamstring issues. Their status for Monday night's game at home against the Commanders is very much up in the air at this point. So the Bengals really needed to bring somebody else in, and they do that today officially, bringing in Lawrence Guy. That's going to be the focus of our show today here on Bengals Breakdown. But I want to remind you guys to subscribe if you have not done so already, because when Bengals breaking news hits, we've got you covered here at Bengals Breakdown. Again, the Bengals are signing Lawrence Guy, free agent defensive tackle, and you can expect him to be ready to go Monday. And I think he will be out there in some capacity trying to help this football team. Here's what Tom Pelissero of NFL Network put out this morning at about a little after 10 o'clock Eastern time. He said, with injuries mounting on the defensive line, the Bengals today are working out multiple veterans, including Lawrence Guy and Albert Huggins, some potential help on the way. So when Pelissero put out this report, it was kind of, between the two of these guys in terms of who they would choose to sign. I thought Lawrence Guy clearly was the guy to go with in this situation. Albert Huggins played his college ball at Clemson, and the Bengals love dipping into those Clemson guys. He was a part of both of their national titles there at Clemson, but really hasn't found his footing in the league. Went undrafted. Kind of has bounced around from practice squads. He's played a little bit in the league. Dallas was most recently his home, a part of their practice squad before getting cut. But when I saw this, I really wanted it to be Lawrence Guy, and it officially is Lawrence Guy, as Tom Pelissero put this out not too long ago. Said veteran defensive lineman Lawrence Guy is signing to the Bengals 53-man roster. Cincinnati has injuries up front, and Guy, the former Patriots standout, should have a chance to make an immediate impact. And Lawrence Guy, you've probably heard the name before. He was a 7th-round pick back in 2011. So he's been in the league for a really, really long time. I believe he is 34 years of age. So that was kind of the main concern as to why teams hadn't signed him earlier than they did right now. But really, it was only a matter of time before he got the call to be a part of another 53-man active roster in the National Football League. And that opportunity comes here today when the Bengals give him that call and are signing him to their 53-man roster. What is your one-word reaction to the Bengals signing Lawrence Guy? It is the pinned comment of today's video. So if that ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Get down in the comments. Let us know what you think. I'm really, really pleased with this signing. The Bengals had to do something. And when you take a look at the history of the Cincinnati Bengals, it feels like there have been situations when they have needed to do something and still have yet to do anything. But this time around, they actually do something. Doesn't come in the form of a trade, but they add from the outside, and I think they get kind of a steal in a guy like Lawrence Guy, who, again, I am surprised wasn't already on a team at this point. So Lawrence Guy kind of bounced around the league a little bit to start his career. He was drafted originally by the Green Bay Packers back in 2011, spent some time with the Indianapolis Colts, as well as the San Diego Chargers and Baltimore Ravens, before truly finding a home in New England. It was really a part of that kind of last part of the Patriots dynasty, and he really had a lot of impact with that football team. He won a Super Bowl with New England and won that game when they beat the Rams 13-3, and played in the Super Bowl the year prior when they lost to Nick Foles and the Eagles. So he was really a staple in that Patriots organization. He was named to the Patriots All-2010s team. So he was a guy that just kind of a typical Belichick guy, kind of a diamond in the rough, goes in the 7th round, kind of bounces around the league, doesn't exactly find a home, but Belichick brings him in, gets him to work with great offensive line tutelage like Dante Scarnecchia. And, he really ended up being a really solid player for New England, and he was still a Patriot last season. And, he played in every single game. So I think this guy still has a lot more to give. He is 34 years of age, so we will see. But certainly a great emergency option for Cincinnati. They had to do something, and they go out there and get Lawrence Guy. Before we continue, I want to give a shout-out to our friends over at Factor Meals because they are the sponsor of today's show. With football season in full swing, look, guys, I don't have time to cook. That's why I use Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Head to factormeals.com/BengalsChat50 and use code BengalsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code BengalsChat50 at factormeals.com/BengalsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. So this is what the Bengals are looking at from a defensive tackle perspective. We do not know the status of Sheldon Rankins and B.J. Hill going forward. Zach Taylor hasn't really enlightened us at all about whether or not those guys are going to be available for Monday night's game against the Commanders. Again, hamstring issues for both those guys. Hill had a knee issue after the opener against New England, gets a hamstring issue against Kansas City on the road. McKinley Jackson and Chris Jenkins. Second round pick being Chris Jenkins, third round pick being McKinley Jackson. Both those guys are banged up. We haven't seen them. So there are only two defensive tackles besides before they brought in Lawrence Guy are Zach Carter and Jay Tufele. And, if you've watched the show, I've been very hard on Zach Carter. I don't have any trust in him being a tackle out there for this football team. So the Bengals absolutely had to go get someone, and they do just that here on Tuesday afternoon, bringing in Lawrence Guy. And I think Bengals fans have a lot of reason to be excited given the fact that this is a guy that's played winning football. He's a veteran. He's a guy that should be able to come right into the locker room, be someone that everybody can trust and appreciate. And, he's a guy that's got a really high football acumen, and he's really done a nice job throughout his career being a solid player in this league. The hope is that he's just not over the hill and he still has something left to give in this game, and that him being 34 years of age isn't going to stop him from helping this football team. That's really the main red flag when you talk about Lawrence Guy. So another opportunity for you guys to get involved with our show here at Bengals Breakdown. Grade the signing for me right now in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off for us. I think this is totally a B for me. Had to bring somebody in at this position. The Bengals do that. And I think he is the absolute best available guy they could have brought in. So really pleased with the signing, and I think everybody out there in Who Dey Nation should be as well.